Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the start of another What If. A few weeks ago, I put out a poll for y'all to vote on which y'all wanted to see next, and it turns out y'all really liked What If Gohan was more like Future Trunks. First, I'll explain a bit more on what I mean about Gohan being like Future Trunks. I believe out of all the characters in the show, Future Trunks was the one character that always took every threat very seriously. Coming from a timeline where everyone was ruthlessly eliminated by the androids, he became the one character to try to end potential threats before they became a big problem. In this What If, I'll have Gohan act a bit more similarly to how Trunks did throughout the entirety of the Android and Cell saga. Note, the change will not all happen all at once, but it will be noticeable throughout the story. With that set up, welcome to What If Gohan was more like Future Trunks. We start this What If off back in the Cell saga. Goku just forfeited against Cell, claiming Gohan is the only one here who has the ability to defeat Cell. Everyone, of course, doesn't believe it, with Piccolo even shouting, saying Gohan isn't a fighter. That's when Goku asks Gohan if he had any trouble keeping up with them in Cell fighting, which Gohan says no because he believed they were both just holding back. Just like in canon, Goku tells Gohan he was giving it his all. Gohan was just comparing his own power to his own. He's actually much stronger than he realizes. So Gohan goes to fight Cell just like he did in canon, all the way up until Android 16's head is crushed, with Gohan erupting into Super Saiyan 2. This is where the change in Gohan's character slowly starts. He cleaves through all of the Cell Juniors, and instead of meticulously ripping Cell apart, he's much more aggressive with all of his attacks, forcing Cell into trying to destroy Earth with the Kamehameha much faster here. And instead of just letting him regenerate afterwards for free, he puts more power into the blast, trying to erase Cell completely. He almost succeeds in erasing Cell, but he just barely survives, regenerating from near death, which allows him to attain his super perfect form, much earlier than he did in canon. Cell, now in his super perfect form, continues his battle with Gohan, with him being a bit closer in power, but it still wasn't enough to close the gap, leading to the Kamehameha clash. Gohan, not being nearly as injured, just uses his full power and completely overpowers Cell, eradicating every last trace of him off the planet. Goku actually survives since he didn't have to sacrifice himself like he did against Cell in canon. They gather the Dragon Balls and wish everybody back that was killed by Cell, with the androids also being brought back by the request of Krillin. Eventually, Trunks returns to his own timeline, defeating the androids once and for all, and killing Cell in his timeline, avenging everyone. We head into the 7 years of peace before the Buu saga. With Goku still alive, everyone gets a lot stronger here. Goten is still born here, but unlike in canon, he's much stronger, and he's taught how to utilize Ki much earlier. Gohan does still end up going to high school, but he doesn't give up on training. He trains much more than he did in canon, but not as much as Goku and Vegeta. Vegeta is still having his rivalry with Goku, and is much more motivated to continue his training, and he eventually catches up to him in strength. That, plus the constant matches they've had, Vegeta got over a lot of his anger against him, with their dynamic looking much more similar to how it does in Super. A few minutes later, we see the start of the Junior Division in the World Tournament. With Vegeta being much stronger, Trunks is trained much harder, making their fight in the tournament much more impactful and impressive since they both have perfect control over Super Saiyan and are even close to unlocking Super Saiyan 2. They show off how much they've grown during the finals, even firing off some Ki blasts. This battle is truly a spectacle to see, showing how much potential the future generation holds. Soon, the battle reaches its climax, with Goten just barely edging out Trunks in the end. Even with Trunks being a bit older than Goten, he had both Goku and Gohan there to train with. Moving on to the adults, we see the same fights as in canon. Everyone just blows their way all the way through all the other fighters until Piccolo matches with the Supreme Kai, and then just like in canon, he forfeits. Kibito and Shun introduce themselves to everyone, with the next match starting being Videl vs Spoofovich. Now Videl puts up a much better fight here, as she was training with a much stronger Gohan, and she even got some lessons from Goku from time to time. Unfortunately, she still loses to him here, as she really doesn't have the ability to put him down with her current strength, leading to her being beaten almost to death. Gohan then stares down Spoofovich, saying he'll make sure he pays for what he did to Videl. Moving on, the next match is Gohan vs Kibito, and of course Kibito wants Gohan to show off his Super Saiyan power. Gohan obliges, saying he'll take it a step further, transforming into Super Saiyan 2, causing the entire arena to shake from the force. That's when Spooklovich and Yamu jump in at Gohan, with Shin trying to restrain him. This plan fails horribly as Gohan already sits him readying to charge him since he got into the ring. He flares his ki, shattering Shin's hold over him, and he uppercuts Spooklovich so hard he just vaporizes him. As he's getting ready to attack Yamu, Kibito and Shin both tell Gohan to wait as Yamu flies away. They need him alive to track down Babidi to prevent the resurrection of Majin Buu. They chase down Yamu and see Babidi erase him on the spot since he wasn't able to get any energy from the tournament. He notices the fighters and right off the bat, Beerus spits on Piccolo, Vegeta, and Krillin, turning them all into stone. Gohan, Goku, Shin, and Kibito all chase down Babidi and Beerus into a ship, with them still being forced to fight all of his henchmen. Goku and Gohan just blow through all of them with ease, eventually reaching Babidi and Beerus. While everyone else was busy fighting the fighter warriors, Babidi and Beerus already collected all the energy from the fighters he turned into stone earlier, and fed it to Majin Buu, giving him about 60% of the energy he needs to release him. Beerus, knowing what he needs to do, sacrifices the rest of his energy to trigger the resurrection of Majin Buu. A pink steam cloud forms up in the air, merging into Majin Buu, leaving the Supreme Kai terrified. Sensing his power, both Goku and Gohan immediately become serious. Goku bursts into Super Saiyan 2, ready to engage with Majin Buu, with the Supreme Kai saying they should both fight Buu at the same time. Of course, Goku being Goku, he wants to test out his own strength first. Gohan thinks about it for a second, then deciding he'll watch for a bit. If it looks like things are going to get out of hand, he'll step in. We see Goku fighting Buu for a bit, with him doing slightly worse than he did in canon since he doesn't have Super Saiyan 3 here. Eventually, Babidi teleports them all to the World Tournament Arena, with Buu turning a large portion of the people there into candy, killing them. After seeing that, Gohan decides to step in, blocking one of his attacks before punching him in the air. He then launches a massive full power Kamehameha at Buu, eradicating every last bit of him off the face of the earth. Terrified, Babidi tries to use magic to do anything, but he gets one shot by Kibito, ending the Buu saga really quickly. With that being over, Shin offers to take Gohan to train with the Z-Sword on the World of the Kais as a thanks for getting rid of Majin Buu, with Goku really encouraging him to go since this isn't an opportunity that everyone gets, so he should take them up on it. Gohan thinks about it for a second, then accepts. For the next few months, Gohan has taught the ways of the Supreme Kai, with him eventually learning how to heal, the Kai, and their ability to create blocks of Kachin. They even end up releasing Elder Kai from the Z-Sword, leading to Gohan getting his potential unlocked. Fast forwarding a few days, we see Gohan meditating on the World of the Kais, with Shin and Kibito watching. That's when a pillar of light lands nearby on the planet, signaling the arrival of Lord Beerus. He greets Shin and Kibito, saying he's come to check out the new student of the Kais. It's actually unusual to see a Saiyan training to become a Kai since Saiyans are usually barbaric and destructive creatures. Shin asks why Gohan in specific intrigues him, since Saiyans haven't really been like that since the death of Frieza, and Gohan here is actually the one to defeat Majin Buu with ease. Also, Gohan's only half Saiyan, so that might be a reason why he doesn't act like the normal Saiyan. Whis actually agrees, since Gohan was raised on Earth, he has a much different upbringing from all the other Saiyans. Intrigued, Beerus decides he wants to see how strong the Saiyan is if he's strong enough to defeat Majin Buu and train with the Kais. Supreme Kai asks Gohan if he's willing to show off how much he's grown against the God of Destruction. Gohan isn't really one to fight all the time, but if it's just for a little while, he's fine with it. So it's settled. Beerus and Gohan float up in the air, with Gohan challenging Beerus in his base form right now, not being able to land a single attack on him. Gohan tries out many more of his techniques he's learned over the years, with none of them really making a difference. He realizes that Beerus is just toying with him, so he cranks it up, powering up to his ultimate form, speeding towards him. He's actually pretty strong here, considering he's still been training after the Buu Saga, and of course, he's already much stronger from the training during the 7-year time skip. If I had to say how strong he was now, let's just say he would be giving Golden Frieza a tough time. I'd even go as far as to say he would win 7 times out of 10. With how strong Gohan is, he manages to completely satisfy Beerus, leading to him offering Gohan to come train with him on his planet. Of course, he declines, saying he's content with the training he's received from the Kais. He does say that there are 2 people on Earth that might want the training with him, being Goku and Vegeta. Beerus believes he's heard of those two before. Whis says yes, stating that Vegeta is the current Prince of the Saiyans, and the Saiyan known as Goku is the one who defeated Frieza on planet Namek by transforming into a Super Saiyan. That's when he decides he'll just head to Earth to test out the strengths of the others to see if they're even worth the effort. He thanks Gohan for the amazing fight as Beerus and Whis head off to Earth. Back on Earth, everyone has made massive gains with Goku and Vegeta unlocking Super Saiyan 3. They've been pushing themselves hard over these past few years to try to close the gap between them and Gohan, not knowing that he's leaps and bounds ahead of them at this point. I would actually put them both on the level of Super Saiyan Goku after they failed the ritual the first time in canon. Goten and Trunks both finally obtained Super Saiyan 2, putting them each on the level of Super Saiyan Gotenks after the time chamber training. Fast forwarding a few hours, we see Goku and Vegeta fighting Beerus in Super Saiyan 3, putting up a fight similarly to what Super Saiyan God Goku did in canon, with them being pushed further than they've ever been pushed before. Of course, they still get overpowered by Beerus, losing the fight, but Beerus still invites them to come train on his planet. They accept and begin training with Whis, eventually unlocking Super Saiyan God and becoming stronger than they would be in Super Saiyan Blue against Golden Frieza when he first returned. A few months later, Gohan returns to Earth with Goku and Vegeta both challenging him to see how much stronger he's gotten. Gohan accepts, of course, since it's actually been a while since he sparred with anyone since Beerus. Surprised, they ask how he knows Beerus, which he explains how Beerus showed up on the Royal Kais to test out his strength since he beat Majin Buu. He actually was the reason he came to Earth in the first place because he referred Beerus to the two of them for being potential rivals. Stunned, Goku actually thanks Gohan. If it weren't for him, they probably wouldn't be anywhere near as strong as they are now. They chat for a bit longer as they all finally get ready for the battle, with it being a 2v1. Goku and Vegeta in Super Saiyan God versus Gohan in his ultimate form. They clash with them noticing immediately how much stronger Gohan is than the two of them, showing how much his potential as a half Saiyan really sets them in an almost completely different tier of strength. After some more trading back and forth, they end up in a beam clash with Gohan quickly starting to overpower them. Struggling to hold their ground, they push themselves with everything they have until they eventually explode into Super Saiyan Blue for a few seconds, slowly evening out the battle. But since they just obtained the form and they aren't doing too well energy wise, they still get overpowered, losing the beam clash, knocking them back into their base forms. Gohan helps the two off the ground before Goku and Vegeta acknowledge that yeah, Gohan is still ahead of them by a pretty decent margin, even with their newfound god forms. Gohan thanks the two, saying he's been training a lot with Shin and Kibito and learning a lot of their techniques, even getting his potential unleashed by the other Kai. They all head back to Capsule Corp, with Piccolo telling them that someone used the Dragon Balls while they're off planet. We then cut to a certain Emperor exiting a healing pod with someone telling him that while he was dead, the Saiyans have grown significantly in strength, and even defeated Majin Buu in combat. Frieza is a little shocked upon hearing this since Majin Buu was one of the two beings his father told him to completely avoid at all costs. If they are able to take him down, then right at that moment, someone else enters the room. They say the only way we're going to be able to defeat those monkeys is if we do what they've been doing. We have to train. With that, I'll end this part off here, with Frieza's resurrection and his eventual return to Earth for revenge. What do you guys think about this part? Who do you think is going to help Frieza get stronger? Leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more anime related content. Catch y'all next time. Peace.